Dave coming at you. We are coming toward the end of SC2, which is really an interesting thing. I got a couple of different stories that I want to tell you about nearing the end. Some of you are watching this on Monday, which means you've got Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to sell. Others have this Wednesday night, and so you're going into your conference right away. Basically on Friday you've got maybe 24 to 48 hours, so it depends on when you're watching this in your office, but you're toward the end of SC2. Now, as crazy as it sounds, you need to know that SC2 is a lot like a sport, and it's like a sport in the same way that there are teams where you're like, you know, oh, the game is over, the fans start to kind of leave, they're down by 21 points in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. Here it's more like half of the fourth quarter, whatever the instance would be. And then all of a sudden there's this fumble, there's this recovery, they run it back, it's 14 points. They're leaving the stadium, they hear all the cheering, and they're like, well, what was that? Well, still they're down 14. Then all of a sudden there's an interception, they run it back, and before they know it, within like 45 seconds, the game is tied, they can't believe it, and they're back engaged. Now, if there's no belief on the team, that doesn't happen, okay? So there's got to be belief on the team from the team perspective, but individually too. So if you set your sights on a 20K or a 10K or a 5K push, and you're only halfway there or a fourth of the way there, you got to know this. You're capable of the rest. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to get there? The other thing too that's great about SC2 is that at the end of the day, the contest is between you and who you are personally, between you and your financial position, and between you and what you've learned in that instance in order to move forward and then to deliver a great future in what you want to do. And that's a key part of SC2 here. I just want to remind everybody that what you've done to this point is a gateway to your future. Now, that future might be that you're going to move on, you're going to go someplace else, you're going to say, you know what, this summer I sold 5,000, I sold 10, 15, 20, whatever it happens to be, $50,000 worth of Cutco. I learned an enormous amount about myself, and now I'm going to go on and I'm going to do something else. If that's the case, good for you. We love it when people get a chance to take the Vector opportunity and use it for something for themselves. That's what we do here. We take pride in that. We are actually the organization that influences more people regarding business than any other institution in the United States of America, including the largest universities. That's a powerful thing. So you want to take that experience and you want to go someplace else and make a great name as a Vector alum. However, many of you are sitting there saying the same thing that I did when I was in your shoes, and that is, what's next? I mean, this was pretty exciting. Some of you are saying, I loved sales. I'm going to love it even more when I go after next year making 50%, where I can go back to school and I can make 50%. And of course, what's you know, the rest of the summer like for me, and I'm going after that. Some of you saying, I really like the sales thing, but you know what? I see what my manager does, and I think I'd rather be up there like him or her, running meetings and training, inspiring and teaching. That's what I want to go after. What's that opportunity like? And then, of course, I know some of you hear the stories. You see the big bonus checks at the end of the year, at the year-end banquet. Some of those bonus checks start as little as, you know, $20,000, and they grow to, I think the largest last year was $150,000. The person saying to themselves, how do I get myself into a position where my bonus check is that big? And you want to explore that. Now, there's assistant manager, there's branch manager, there's district manager, there's division manager, and all those opportunities financially, as well as the weight of the responsibility, is, you know, in conjunction with the role that a person is in. But this is a time that you can start to explore all that too, and SC2 is going to help you do that. We've got career positions, we've got other advancement positions. They're very exciting, and you're probably right now in a branch or a district office that is in a hyper growth mode right now too. We have so many different programs that we're putting together as an organization to access technology, to enhance the training programs that we have, to build our business into something that we've never ever seen it be before. In fact, I will tell you that in my 23 years in the business right now, I have never ever been at a point of impact, or I should say a point of momentum shift or change like we're experiencing right now in the company because of the things that we're doing to open ourselves up to additional ideas and technologies to influence and move the future into a place that it's never seen before in the history of the company. Some of the more experienced managers probably recognize what I'm saying there, but that's exciting to you even if you've just started in the business. The last thing that I want to say is this: SC2 is over and the next day comes, and when the next day comes, you're sitting there right now at that point looking at another chunk of the summer. For some of you, it's 2 weeks before you go back to school. For some of you, it's 5 weeks before you go back to the school. I remember as a martial artist myself watching people get their black belt and then get out of shape. And I kind of done that a little bit myself. I'm a 43-year-old man. You know, I can't really, I I'm not much of a black belt myself due to age now at this point. But anyway, the point is this, that you watch people in the prime of their career, they're in their 20s and they're able to really still compete hard. They get their black belt and then they stop competing. That doesn't really make any sense. They get their black belt, they stop training. I'd much rather be a yellow belt or a blue belt or a green or a brown belt that's in the prime shape that can take on and even fight a black belt and win without that level than a black belt that let themselves go and never take it to the next level of mastery or whatever it might be. You don't want to be the FSM that stops when they get to 50% and they don't experience the 50% selling. If you're at 30% right now or 25% or whatever percentage you're at, it's not about getting to that percent, it's about maximizing that percentage when you're there, maximizing the income when you're there. I want you to think about this. You know, when you sell your first $10,000 worth of Cutco, you make a couple $1,000s. I think it's about $2,000 when you take your 10, 15, all the way up percentage commissions, right? You have to sell $4,000 to earn the same as you did when you first started and sold $10,000 when you were an FSM. It's a radical, powerful engine. So I want you to start thinking about how you can maximize the appointments and really go after it. Build your energy, build your inertia. This week is not just about finishing strong for SC2, it's about thinking about how you're going to take that momentum, how you're going to build it, and how you're going to drive through August sales for you to maximize your opportunity and to be able to go back to school with a little bit extra money in your pocket while you're paying for your education, and beyond anything else too, for you to become a different person through that experience, and for you to be able to say, I'm challenged by this. I've learned a lot of things. Now I can either apply those or let them go dormant. August is a great time to apply them. I want you to go after it. I can't wait to see you at SC2.